5 on your side at 10 starts now.
A Delta 8 divide in St. Louis County. Tonight, the pushback from businesses leading to a pause by the county council.
Warmer Wednesday. The beginning of days near or above 90 starts tomorrow. Why this round of heat will be less intense than the last round. Plus a look at your weekend rain chances.
Our top story, a rough report card for St. Louis schools.
The district is on a path to bankruptcy.
Why the district is looking for extra cash instead of extra credit. More on that in a moment. First, 3 people in the hospital after a robbery erupted in gunfire. This happened at Amberg Park in South St. Louis around 5:30 today. The victim exchanged shots with the 2 suspected robbers, and all 3 people were shot. Police say they're all expected to be okay. This is a developing story, and we're working to get you more information.
Now back to our top story, a financial bombshell for St. Louis Public Schools. Missouri State Auditor released results from the first of 2 audits into the school district, and it comes with an urgent warning. The district could go bankrupt if changes aren't made fast. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. New tonight, the school board's president is now responding in a one-on-one interview with 5 on your side's Brent Solomon. Brent's in studio now with new information about those stunning findings.
Well, Mike, Kelly, 46 pages that are causing parents to ask what is going on. Wasteful spending, top dollar bonuses and salaries. $54 million in savings exhausted in just 4 years. School leaders tell me they're listening and making a 180.
Gross incompetence.
2 words from Missouri Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick, summarizing his findings in the first of 2 extensive audits into St. Louis Public Schools, when former Superintendent Dr. Keisha Scarlett was at the helm.
The school board was asleep at the wheel and allowed Dr. Scarlett to abuse the system.
Cardinals tickets, trips to Topgolf and Caesars Palace in Vegas, airline upgrades, thousands cashed in at Insomnia Cookies. And then there were salaries. Top executives paid tens of thousands above their contracts, and the school board never signed off.
It's hard to hear. We know we have a lot of work to do.
School board president Karen Collins Adams joined the board this year. So did several other board members after the former superintendent's departure. She says things have changed.
When you're convincing families and stakeholders who might wonder, well, what's changed? You know, is it just more of the same?
We're asking very valuable questions about contracts, vendors, invoices. We see the credit card report every month.
She says it's a change of course, not just to get the district on track, but to also rebuild trust. The superintendent sharing those goals.
One of the things that we know that we have to do is look at our spending, is look at the efficiencies of our buildings, and plan from there. And when I say plan from there, meaning that it has to be tighter.
We don't like to talk about school closures and all of those other things, but we have to look at how we operate in order to become fiscally sound.
The auditor warning that the district must cut spending or boost enrollment to avoid an $80 million shortfall. The mayor today calling it worrisome as she works to hire a staffer to collaborate with the district.
All right, now to our weather impact forecast and Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
Scott, we have avoided the 90s today, but how long will that keep up?
Well, you know, it is August in St. Louis. We know we have some more 90-degree days ahead, but the important thing to note here, we only hit 85 today. 89 is the average high. Today's our first day where that average high temperature drops below 90 degrees. So climatologically, we have reached the peak heating in St. Louis. Now, it'll probably be a while before the high temperature is 89 again because we are on a steady warming trend here for the next several days. We had a couple of isolated showers still this evening, even some out towards Maplewood, back towards Frontenac, and they've all died out. There may be a little patchy fog for you early in the morning tomorrow in some of the low spots if you saw a brief shower today, but most of us did not, and the winds are fairly light. We think heading out the door tomorrow morning, it'll be nice and quiet for us. 70 degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning with very light winds. The winds will turn to the southeast, and we'll start to climb into the 70s. Tomorrow, upper 80s, very close to 90 degrees. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Tonight, the St. Louis County Council decided to hold off on voting on a bill to limit the sale of, quote, intoxicating cannabinoids that's commonly known as Delta 8.
5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is live in Clayton, where she talked with people on both sides of this issue. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, tonight the entire public comment section was filled with business owners and advocates who are against this proposed limit on cannabinoids. The bill's sponsor even says this whole evening kind of revealed some misconceptions she wants to clear up. The St. Louis County Council considered Bill 15, which would make it illegal to sell what are called intoxicating cannabinoids like Delta 8 outside of marijuana dispensaries. The bill sponsor is Councilwoman Lisa Clancy.
And I'm concerned about community health, public health, and safety, particularly after seeing that many of these products are labeled and packaged in ways that are very attractive to children, such as my own children.
Business owners and advocates came out in droves against the measure, saying it would hurt their businesses.
I own 2 legal hemp stores myself, and banning would eliminate 2 businesses, displace 11 workers, and impact 4 business owners, and put 2 commercial buildings vacant.
Matthew Jadwin owns Green Dragon CBD. He says a lot of these products do have benefit for people, and while his shop isn't considered a licensed dispensary, he follows the laws and even wants to see more regulation, but not a ban.
I think it's an important part to have the accessibility to these products that can help people because, you know, what we sell is different to a degree. There's no paranoia or anxiety that you're getting with these products, right? Some things aren't as strong, and it comes at a much better price point as well.
Former lobbyist Gary Wiggert believes this measure would limit the market and take away competition.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid the marijuana industry right now wants a monopoly, and I don't want to see that monopoly. I want to see free enterprise.
Councilwoman Clancy says this measure doesn't go after hemp or CBD products and had no intent of putting people out of business.
And I question that that's actually going to happen. These are businesses that have been in existence for a very long time, that had strong business models before the 2018 Farm Bill created this hemp loophole.
And there was no vote tonight, but the county council plans to have another meeting and work session to talk about this before bringing it back for a full vote. Reporting live in Clayton, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
The results of today's special election in Missouri are in, and about an hour ago, we learned Proposition 24 passed in North St. Louis County. The measure passed with 74% of the vote. It creates a transportation development district across 17 municipalities. There will now be a 1% sales tax to support road maintenance and special transportation projects. For more results from today's special election in Missouri, head to KSDK.com, or you can text the word results to 314-425-5355. We'll send you a link.
Tonight, St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer is urging people to apply for FEMA assistance just under a week before the deadline. The city believes nearly 700 homes with tornado damage have yet to apply for help. The deadline is August 11th, but the city is efforting an extension. But even with that extension application, Mayor Spencer says to apply before that Monday deadline.
We want to make sure, even though we've applied for that extension and we've made a strong case, we want to get folks applied for the federal funding that they qualify for and deserve and need.
For information on how you can apply for FEMA help before that deadline, all you have to do is text FEMA to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you a link with everything you need to know. Mayor Spencer also provided an update about the troubled downtown jail. She said she visited the jail recently and noted the severe understaffing and what she calls leadership issues. Right now, the city is looking for a new jail commissioner to replace interim commissioner Doug Burris. This update comes a little over a month after another inmate died while in custody. A judge is ordering the St. Louis Police Department to hand evidence over to the owners of Bar PM. Chad Morris was handcuffed and arrested in December 2023 after a police SUV crashed into the front of his South City bar. Court documents allege the police have fought to withhold key evidence like text messages and other police officer statements detailing what exactly happened that night. The court order gives police until August 15th to hand the new evidence over to Morris's attorneys as part of discovery.
We have an update tonight on the recovery of Ferguson police officer Travis Brown. Saturday marks 1 year since he suffered a serious brain injury in the line of duty. Brown's family sent us this new video. His family says he remains resilient as he continues through therapy to regain his speech and walking. Last year, Brown was knocked to the ground during unrest on the 10th anniversary of Michael Brown's death. Ferguson police will hold a day of healing and prayer on Sunday, where they will honor Officer Brown and his service. Tonight, the FBI is investigating a series of overnight car fires in Clayton as a hate crime. Police found 3 cars on fire early this morning on Westmoreland Avenue near North Hanley. They also found anti-Semitic graffiti in the road. The Anti-Defamation League believes this attack was meant to send a message.
Hate crimes are message crimes. Everyone's meant to feel this, and everyone does. So the impact is much broader. And again, this is what globalized the Intifada looks like. It's a burnt out car in St. Louis County, Missouri.
According to the Anti-Defamation League, anti-Semitic acts are up 250% in just the last 3 years in Missouri. If you have information, you are being asked to call Clayton Police. That number, 314-290-8414.
Tonight, the Better Business Bureau is warning drivers to be cautious of one of the largest car wash chains in the Midwest. The BBB says it's received more than 240 complaints about Club Car Wash in the last 3 years. The complaints range from vehicle damage to problems with getting refunds. The company provides a list of disclaimers spelling out what the company doesn't cover, including damage to cars 7 years or older. The BBB urges everyone to read these carefully before signing up for any membership.
You want to make sure that you're reading the fine print, you're understanding what you're signing up for. Club Car Wash has also said too that they do have disclaimers out and available for the customers to see.
We've reached out to Club Car Wash for comment, but we have not heard back. A pup's perseverance.
If this dog lives, I want to give it the best. I want to give her the best life. That is the thought that went through my mind.
Tonight, the amazing recovery of Aria the dog, going from devastating burns to a bustling life.
Wednesday's a good day for a dog walk in the park. The heat begins building for sure, but it's not as intense as it was last month. When the rain chances increase again, and why it should have a limited impact on any of your outdoor weekend plans.
Tonight, Texas House Republicans are doing everything they can to get their counterparts out of Illinois. It was another quick session for the Texas House today as they lacked the number of lawmakers needed to move forward on anything. On Sunday, dozens of Democrats fled to Illinois to avoid a vote on a new congressional map. The House Speaker signed civil arrest warrants for those Democrats and met with the State Department of Public Safety this morning.
DPS is actively working to compel their attendance after I signed their civil arrest warrants yesterday, and will continue to do so until those members are back in this chamber.
They've decided that the only way to save themselves is to cheat, to change the rules in the middle of the game.
And new tonight, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is asking the state Supreme Court for permission to remove the House Democratic chair from office. The lawsuit argues Gene Wu violated the Constitution by leaving the state.
It was one of the worst cases Stray Rescue had seen. A young dog with burns covering 90% of her body. Our Let's Pause tonight is about a resilient and brave pup who survived a traumatic burn injury and is now thriving. A warning, some of the images may be disturbing. Let's pause for Aria.
It's hard to believe that a pup this full of life nearly lost hers. It was January, the dead of winter, when Stray Rescue took in a dog that had been left outside.
They were doing the best they could to try to keep her warm. They had a crate for her with a tarp on top of it and a space heater. And the space heater fell over, and that's how she got burned.
Flames scorched her fur, leaving third-degree burns along her back, ears, and paws.
We do see a lot of, horrendous situations at Stray Rescue, but every time a new dog comes in a condition like that, it just hits you all over again.
The shelter named her Aria. When Amy and Wendy Loftus heard her story, they knew instantly this was their dog.
Right away that night, I put an application in for her because my thought was, if this dog lives, I want to give it the best. I want to give her the best life.
Survival wouldn't come easy. Aria faced months of intense care, twice daily bandage changes, and painful wound treatments.
So as the skin heals, it gets red, which it's supposed to, but it can look very shocking. So it looks worse than when she first came in, even though she's healing.
Veterinarians used an innovative technique, fish skin grafts.
They're literally sheets of fish skin that our surgeon would put on the wound. And so the skin, it helps regenerate the cells to rebuild the skin.
After 5 months at Stray Rescue,
We just adopted her this week, like 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
they brought her home to meet her new furry brothers and start a new chapter.
We love her. Like, she is the biggest snuggle bug ever. Like, and she fits right in. You know, it's like she kind of grew up with the boys.
For the first few weeks, the couple handled her care themselves.
She would let you like change her clothes and everything. So I would just she would just lay down and I would just put the bandages on her, wipe her down and everything, and then put her new suit on, and then she would be ready to go again.
It was a whole team effort.
Another milestone, Aria no longer needs bandages. They are forever thankful to Stray Rescue.
But they do an amazing, phenomenal job, you know, helping them get back up on their feet and finding them, you know, kind homes with people who, you know, love them like family.
Scars tell her past, but Aria's spirit writes a new chapter filled with love, joy, belly rubs, and second chances. She's living the life she nearly lost.
And we take them everywhere with us. So they go on trips, you know, so she's gonna have the life. She's gonna be spoiled.
Aria will need to wear sunscreen and protective clothing when she's outside. If you would like to follow Aria and her adventures or support Stray Rescue and their mission to help dogs like Aria, visit this story in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
It's National Night Out, and East St. Louis celebrated with free school supplies, food, and activities. The annual Night Out event strengthens relationships between residents and law enforcement. Along with food and activities, the event had police demonstrations, even a live DJ. Various community organizations and law enforcement agencies partnered to host.
To let kids know that they can trust law enforcement. There's so much negative about law enforcement. This is an opportunity for them to meet law enforcement and in an everyday environment.
Kids also got a chance to go on a scavenger hunt to learn about the different law enforcement agencies.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell's back with the weather impact forecast. A perfect night to be out and about.
Really?
Yeah, very comfortable tonight. Temperatures, you know, dropping back into the 70s now. The humidity levels, it's where you can feel it, but it's not where it bothers us, right? And I think that's where we're going to stay for the next couple of days. We get into the weekend, humidity's a little bit higher, so are the temperatures, but a nice quiet night around St. Louis. 72 degrees in Alton, 77 in Lake St. Louis and Baldwin right now. Millstadt's one of the spots that's really cooled back at 71 degrees. Troy, Illinois at 72. Listen, for the next few days, it's during the heat of the day with the humidity and temperatures kind of on the rise, creeping up. Rain chances overall are quite low. So we're really thinking what you really need for the next few days is more of that sunscreen and the sunglasses, but not the umbrella. Not to say there won't be an isolated shower, but the chances are awfully low. Chelsea shared this beautiful picture with us from the Columbia Bottom Conservation Area. The sunflowers are in bloom. They are peaking. If you haven't been out there, you know, you might be able to catch something this beautiful. And boy, all the creatures, all the birds, the little yellow finches, the butterflies, the bees, they're out there savoring those sunflowers for sure. Temperatures, this is the trend the next 5 days. It's mostly up. And once we get into the low 90s, we're pretty much going to stay there. The good news about the weather pattern that we're looking at right now is most of the active weather is avoiding the St. Louis area. We're in the middle, in between systems. Storms are to the north. They're the stronger storms, so we don't have to worry about that. And we don't think there's much of a chance for rain tomorrow. Not going to say it's totally zero, but it's pretty close to it for most of us tomorrow. Temperatures are back into the upper 80s, though. A lot of folks still outside working. Thursday, it's more of the same, low 90s. Friday into Saturday, let's focus on the weekend. We go into Saturday, and we're talking low 90s. The rain chances, awfully low. Can't say there won't be an isolated shower because the humidity creeps up a little bit over the next couple of days, but overall, the rain chances are pretty limited. Now, Sunday, there is an attempt for something to try to come at us from the northwest, so we up the chance just a little bit for Sunday. Right now, 78 degrees, our high 85 today. Again, we have passed the peak of the heat climatologically in St. Louis. We're close to 70 in town, outlying areas mid-60s. It's pretty uneventful tonight weather-wise. There may be a little bit of patchy fog in some of the low spots, some of the river valleys, but that's about it. As we go through the next 7 days, outside of the warming and a little more humid, yes, you'll notice it this weekend. The heat index values 95 to 100, but none of that 110, 115 heat index kind of thing. So this is more tolerable heat, even though it's still hot.
It's warm, but we know what that felt like. It just felt like soup.
Oh, yes, we did.
Right.
Yeah. Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, Mizzou football could have a star at running back this season. And a running back from St. Louis is getting paid in the Escalade. And on Frankly Speaking, what should the Cardinals do with Nolan Arenado? So what did you really think was going to happen tonight in Dodger Stadium? The Dodgers have the third best offense in baseball and score over 5 runs a game. Miles Michaelis gives up about 5 runs a game. You didn't have to be the amazing Kreskin to predict what would happen. With the Dodgers already leading 2-0 in the first, when Nolan Gorman gets all of it, 425 feet, we are tied at 2. Play this guy every night. But in the third, the Dodgers teed off on Miles. Max Muncy hits his second homer of the game, and it's 4-2 LA. The next batter, Oscar Hernandez, goes deep. Miles only went 3 innings. Right now, the Dodgers lead it 5-2 in the 4th inning.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
After 2 weeks off from the MLS schedule, City SC is back in action Saturday against Nashville. The time off from the MLS play has helped the team get healthy, but for Coach Critchley, it's not just health that will be a factor when assembling a lineup. This team is trying to find its footing, and he's trying to find a spark.
At this level, it's based on performance. It's based on who I think are the 20 that will get me 3 points this week. They all know I care about all of them, but at the end of the day, at this level, it's business, and I'll always choose the roster that I think is going to be the most successful for the club.
The Mizzou football season is 23 days away from beginning. Central Arkansas will come and donate blood very shortly, and they will see a running back that many believe will be the next big star at Mizzou. Transfer Ahmad Hardy brings energy and personality to the running back room, not to mention ability. As a freshman at Louisiana Monroe, he ran for over 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. He's ready for the adjustment from the Sun Belt Conference to the SEC, and it will need to be both mental and physical.
Really just the mindset, like you said, it's the SEC, so I didn't play ball in the SBC, so I know it's a lot tougher. So just really the mindset, like going through the season, it's going to get hard. We got to keep going. Coming from the SBC, everybody's bigger than all my O-line at my old school, so they pretty big and fast, so big guys, fast guys, and they mentality, physical.
Finally tonight, a word about one of my favorite athletes in St. Louis, Nolan Arenado. He's a rare mix of a genuine superstar who is so kind and so humble. But I'm here to say it doesn't make any sense to play him anymore this season. You are not winning, and you need to find out about Nolan Gorman and possibly J.J. Weatherholt at third base. And in the middle of this rebuild, you can't bring back a 35-year-old, especially when his hitting has declined. You want to treat this future Hall of Famer with respect, but you have to do everything possible to encourage him to waive the no-trade clause and move on. It's no longer a fit in St. Louis. 10 Gold Gloves, 8 All-Star games, and a heck of a guy, but it's a marriage that has to end. And that's, frankly speaking, for tonight. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
Halloween is 2 months away, and your spooky shopping has got easier. Our partners at the Business Journal report Spirit Halloween is opening 12 locations in St. Louis and 46 in Illinois for the season. Stores are recently closed in spaces of other retailers, so they open where they leave, and they are expected to open this month.
The Thanksgiving Day Parade in downtown St. Louis will look a little different this year. The parade will now be the Saturday before Thanksgiving on November 22nd. Celebrate St. Louis is teaming up with the Gateway Arts Park Foundation to create a dual holiday kickoff. The parade will end at Keener Plaza just in time for Winterfest, Festival of Lights, and the tree lighting at 6:30.
And Scott has a final check of our weather.
Well, it doesn't feel much like the holidays just yet.
No,
Not
it does
quite.
not.
We got a ways to go. But temperatures tomorrow get back into the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees. Mainly dry weather here through Friday, although you can't completely rule out an isolated afternoon shower.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening.